Hey everyone, welcome back to Beauty with Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be a group review comparing 3 different brow gel. I will give you the pros and cons and I will let you know which one works the best for me and try to give you as much information so you will be able to decide which one is the best one for you. First one I tried was the Maybelline Brow Drama. This one is the color Soft Brown, which I have to mention, I have to say I probably should have went with the darkest shade just because one says that it will give you a bolder look if you go with deeper shades than your brows. That part I can't blame on the product. I have to say though that it is my least favorite. The reason is mainly the brush. I feel like it is the least user-friendly. The big round part is okay to do the first part of your brow, especially if you have thicker brows. Personally, they're pretty thin and they are pretty sparse, so I want something that will keep them in place but will also make them look a bit darker to match my hair and will especially help with the sparse area, and this was not something that could do that. I do appreciate that there's not too much product on the wand per se whenever you take it out of the packaging, but it did make a mess quite a few times. Not today actually, when I did the little clip to insert. It was like the one time that it didn't do it, obviously, right? It was fine to do the first part of my brows, but as soon as I go towards my tip, I couldn't do it because it would always touch my skin and there's not as much hair, so it was really hard to just focus it on one place. I have to say I don't even know why they bothered doing this little part at the end, because there's personally no way I can even use it, even in like no matter what angle I put it in. There's no way I can touch the brows without making a mess everywhere. Instead, I would suggest to do a little cone one. That way it would be so much easier to just do it everywhere you want and not touch anywhere the skin or other hairs on your face. The color per se was not the best, but again, this one is right here. It's a little bit on the warmer side compared to the 2 other ones that I'm going to mention, but again, it was a soft brown. The product claims to sculpt your brows and make them look fuller. I have to say, sculpted, sure, but to me it just looked a little bit too wet. It didn't seem to make them look fuller whatsoever. It did seem to keep the hair in place for a majority of the time. I have to say my brows, especially in the bottom part, the hair tends to just grow down, so they will move quite a bit, so that's why I usually want to go for a brow gel. And this one didn't always keep them in place, but most of the time it did a decent job. Again, as I mentioned in the beginning, not my favorite one. It's actually my least favorite one, the one that I wouldn't recommend, especially because of the brush. The second one, which is actually my favorite drugstore one, I haven't tried that many, so actually let me know in the comments if you've tried any that you think I should try to compare them with all of these. I'm talking about the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara in Brunette, which when I saw the packaging the first time I received it, because I had to order it online, I was like, yeah, that's not gonna match. It is so warm tone, like my brow, my hair are pretty cool tone. I was expecting the worst. Even when I opened it and saw the one, as you can see, it looks pretty warm tone again. But as you can see here, it is not that bad, especially when it's in my brow, as you will see in the clip. I feel like it did a decent job again to keep my hair in place. I feel like it actually did a better job than the Maybelline one, and the one is so much easier to use. I feel like it is way smaller. It is a little bit more in a cone form. I had no issue using it all over my brows, even the tip. It did a great job, didn't have as many issues touching my skin. I do have to say it did make my brows a little hard. Has the 3 of them. I feel like brow gel in general, the more you use to keep them in place, the more they will feel hard. I just usually go back with the little spoolie. This one is like the e.l.f. one, it's $1, and I just go back and just comb them and everything is fine. This one did make my brows a little bit fuller, a little bit darker. I felt like it did a great job, but not as much as the third one that I'm going to mention. I feel like the little sparse area at the end weren't not full enough to my taste. But overall, if you have great brows to begin with, you just want them to be maybe a little darker, a little bit more sculpted, a little bit fuller, I think this one is a great alternative to the expensive one I'm going to mention. Overall, my favorite has to be the Benefit Gimme Brow. I have it in the color medium deep. I have to say, to me, this one is worth the money. It is harsh to compare them to the drugstore one because this one contains little fibers in it, which obviously is going to make your brows look fuller. But personally, because of that, it makes it more useful to me and more quick in the morning. Because if I went to use the NYX one and I felt like, oh, the end part still needed a little help, I would have to go back with a pencil or with powder to make them look good enough for my taste. This one I usually don't need to. That's why for me it's worth the money. It has the best one of all of them. It is tiny, it does a great job. There's a little bit too much product sometimes on it, but you can just easily wipe it off. It is the darkest one too, so obviously my brows are going to look a little bit deeper and bolder, which again I do like. But the main reason, like I said, is that any sparse area, especially at the end, will look full, like you have brows, which is the best thing ever. And again, because it was really small, it was really easy to do the tail of my brows. So if you have really thin brow or little sparse area, you need to try this one. I like that even though it is the one that gives me the bolder look on my brows, it also is really, really natural. Like nobody will think that, did you fill in your brows or not? Like there's no line or anything, so it looks really natural. So in summary, Maybelline Brow Drama, I wouldn't recommend because of the brush. I feel like you will have issues if you have thin brows, especially. I love the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara, especially if you're on a budget and you're looking for something good. I think this is great. And if you need a little bit more help, a little bit more sparse area that you want them to look fuller, something with a little bit of fiber in it that will help a lot is the Benefit Gimme Brow. To me, this is the one that I will repurchase over and over again just for the mornings that I am in a rush and I don't have time to apply gel and powder. So this was my quick review comparing 3 different brow gels. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you've tried any of these, what you thought of them, or if there's any other one that you think that I need to try. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and to subscribe to not miss any future video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!